Yo, chapter 57 just dropped. A lot of questions that finally got answered. And for once and all, we actually didn't get left on like too much of a cliffhanger because we kind of don't really know where the manga is going to be going for next chapter. Now, this chapter is called Eida, and I know every single Boruto fan is going crazy over her. I'm not going to say why. If you already know, y'all know. But this chapter is just breaks down more so some more events that happened. And basically the main focus of this chapter is Eida and her broken abilities, but I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So chapter basically starts off with Eida and Code, and Code just found Eida in the containment that she's in, and right in the beginning of the chapter they already answer one of my questions. If he knew about Boro's transgression to Jigen, why didn't he report it, right? And Code answered because he wasn't too sure of it himself, and he wouldn't want to kill one of his own comrades. Which actually surprised me a little bit. I didn't know Code actually had a soul like that to not want to take down one of his own homies. So that was the reasoning for why Code didn't initially report it to Jigen. So that kind of explains it right there, and they pretty much answered that question. Now, moving on, Bug is really just trying to get Code to not open this damn door because he's like, yo, what are you doing? You cannot get Eida to come out. She's too broken. And Code, he just refuses. He's like, you know what, if she doesn't want to listen to me, I'm just gonna kill her myself. Then they kind of cut over to the panel with the 5 Kage summit, which is actually on a Zoom meeting. Bro, this Kage summit did not go anything like I thought it was gonna go. I thought this Kage summit was gonna be a lot more tense, a lot more arguing, but nah, they were chill. They're like, yeah, they were really chill. Kind of sum up the meeting. They kind of just gave Code the information about Code and who they're looking for. They're also looking for some car bases to investigate, and pretty much had broken down to what his plan is. Now in this meeting, Naruto did not even tell the 5 Kage about Kurama, or they didn't even say anything about Sasuke's Rinnegan. So I found that to be very weird that they didn't include that in there. I guess Naruto is just not gonna tell him. I think he should tell him though, because like if they're in a battle and they're like, hey yo, why isn't Naruto, doing his thing, they're gonna be hella confused. But for some reason, maybe they got told off screen. I don't know, or maybe they just know already with the debriefing situation. I hope they know at least, because that seems like some really important information. But Daruik brings up the question of, hey yo, can we really trust Amato? And Naruto himself is like, yo, I can't 100% trust him, but he was really like our only source of valuable intel. Now Gaara asks another question, and he asks him if it comes down to it and Boruto becomes this Otsutsuki, will you be able to take him down? And Naruto's just like, yo, I'm the Hokage, I gotta do what I gotta do. Now that would be very interesting to see a Naruto versus Boroshiki fight sometime in the future. We didn't actually get to see Naruto fight Boroshiki when he transformed a couple chapters ago. Now moving on, we go to the scene with Amato and Naruto, and they're talking about Boruto becoming an Otsutsuki, and Amato lays it on to him like, yo, I know how you feel. I used to have a daughter. Now this brings us back to the Amato and Delta situation, to where a lot of people think that Delta is Amato's daughter, and this is pretty much just based on that one manga chapter where he called her daughter. I think it was like a mistranslation or something like that. I forgot what the whole situation was, but yes, it is confirmed that Amato did have a daughter. We're not sure who. I'm actually assuming it's Delta, and I might make a video on this later this week or next week talking about it. But he did have a daughter, but she sadly passed away. Now Amato has this medicine that he's gonna give to Naruto, basically Byakugan suppressing pills. Since the Byakugan is derived from the Otsutsuki, he thinks this is a way to get Boruto's karma process to slow down a little bit. Now there's a little bit of side effects of these pills where he may go blind, vision basically decreasing, but it could kill him if there's any really like bad side effects. So the plus side is it'll slow down his karma progression, but there are some really bad side effects with blurry vision, death, all that kind of stuff. Now, tell me why Naruto would take drugs from a random stranger like this. I understand Naruto is out of options, but like, can't you just go to Orochimaru and maybe talk to Orochimaru for a little bit, then come back to Amato? I feel like Orochimaru is even more trustable than Amato at this point, right? If we're talking about crazy scientists, I would go to the crazy scientist that I know has at least some, rapport, right? He has some background. We at least know what he can do, right? We at least know he's putting in work in the lab. We have no idea what Amato came from, right? And I just have some more stuff about Amato that I want to talk about a little bit later on. But yeah, taking random Byakugan pills from a stranger, Naruto, not sure if that's the best play here, but they're really left with no options, right? So maybe they can talk with Orochimaru or something and get something planned out. But anyway, we go back to Eida and Code. Eida finally comes out, and she just completely ignores Code. She dodges Code like she's some sort of she's all that. So she's just walking past Code, and she's paying him no mind at all, because she's like, "Yeah, I gotta brush my teeth. I've been in there. I've been locked up for a couple years." And Code tries to kill her, but he gets stopped in his tracks, and his body just can't move, which is actually one of her abilities. And while she's brushing her teeth and everything like that, Code is over here talking to Bug like, "Yo, you think she likes me or whatever?" And he's just infatuated. Now, I want to talk about this in spoilers, but I didn't get to make a video. But let me tell you something. The ability to just make anybody like infatuated with you is a broken ability. I don't know if y'all ever played Pokemon, but like the move Attract, where you just can't do anything, you just immobilized. You can move sometimes, but that just immobilization by that move it's something else, right? Now, I'm gonna say right now, Eida's Dojutsu is one of the most broken abilities in the whole entire franchise itself. But I'm gonna go even more in depth in just a second. But basically, her main abilities are clairvoyance, where she can kind of see. She basically has like cameras everywhere in the world. I think that's how she explained it. She kind of sees everything that's going on, and I don't know how she can do this, but she just knows everything, right? Based on her name. She can't see anything, before she was born, and she can't see the future. So only current events or scenes from the past. Now, I'm gonna say right here, that is broken. So I'm trying to figure out, right, how did Amato create a cyborg that can, one, make anybody infatuated with her, and two, see the present and the past? Now, maybe the present and the past thing is just something that's special to her, and maybe she had it before, but the whole like infatuation thing, I think that is just, we need a really good backstory for Amato, because I just want to figure out, how is he over here making like OP abilities like that? You know what I'm saying? How is he able to even create something like that? I'm going to need a really good backstory for how the hell Amato was able to even do this, right? But I guess moving on, Eida already knows that Code wants to get his limiters off, so she explains how he's going to have to do it. So he's going to need a biometric authentication, which is his voice and his iris recognition. And we get a reveal here that Amato has actually modified his eyes with scientific ninja tools, which I figured out that Amato, he had to give himself some upgrades, right? You don't just give the whole team Mercedes Benz and you go driving the Honda. You got to give yourself upgrades too. So I knew that Amato was going to give himself some sort of upgrades to better improve himself. So Amato does have scientific ninja tool eyes, and the only way for Code to get his limiter taken off is by Amato himself. And Eida calls Amato a dreamy dandy. So I don't think Eida is the daughter that Amato was referring to. I don't think Eida would call her own dad dreamy. But Code is just kind of confused still about those feelings that he's feeling for Eida. And she basically explains that everyone becomes captivated by her, including me. And both men and women, no matter who they are, just fall in love with her. So I guess in her perspective, it is kind of tiring for everyone to just, fall down hands and knees, tier 3 subs, everything like that, just for her. And I guess it's a tiresome ability, and she can't really have true love or something like that. But her ability, it kind of just activates by itself. She can't really control how she steals hearts. And she kind of blames it on Amato that she can't have regular love, because everybody just falls in love unnaturally with her. And that's kind of the same reason why Boro wasn't able to dispose of her, because he fell in love too, which is in itself is kind of crazy. But yeah, pretty much if you're an Otsutsuki or you're a blood relative, she can't make you fall in love with her, which, you know, none of that Alabama stuff in the Otsutsuki. So pretty much anyone related or, you know, that's immune. And Code gives this idea that, hey, your abilities might not work on Boruto and Kawaki, and one of them should be your prince. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I usually try not to do that whole like shipping stuff in any of my videos, but how old is Eida? Can we get an age check on Eida? Someone give me an age check on Eida. We need to know how old she is, man, because Boruto's like 12, 13. But hey, I'm gonna mind my business. I'm going to mind my business. But anyway, seems like Eida's gonna be going after maybe Boruto and Kawaki in the future. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, she pretty much lets Code know that they're already talking about him, and their partnership is pretty much formed at this point. Now that's pretty much the whole chapter. Eida has a nice design, has like the moons in her eyes, which I wonder what that means. I really wonder what the whole moon design thing is for. But yeah, pretty good chapter. I still want Amato to get a solo cover. I want Amato's story. I want his whole backstory to be covered, because there's a lot of things that Amato has done so far in terms of his research, in terms of like what he's done with these cyborgs, that pretty much breaks the laws of what we know so far in Boruto, right? Not even like Orochimaru's doing things like this. And like with the Byakugan pills and all this other crazy stuff, Eida's Dojustu, I'm like, Amato, how did you figure this stuff out, right? You must have like traveled to the future or something. Like I just want Amato to give a good backstory, because if Amato has a good backstory, I feel like a lot of this stuff is justifiable and we're just not pulling stuff out of thin air, right? But yeah, if I could get Summit, in my opinion, a little bit disappointing. Very disappointing, actually, because they didn't really talk about much, or at least they didn't mention the things that I thought they were going to mention. But I mean, besides that, it was okay. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this chapter. Eida, man. My boys already know. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And I will see you guys later. Peace.